we got Might, the graphic novel. I'm trying to finish up so that I can get this finished and get my sign up page up soon. But yeah, we got the
Mike,
okay, there we go.
graphic novel.
Got
Let's
some
go.
sound coming in. Okay, I'm sure that we got sound now because I don't know, we have a delay sometimes and I'm not sure what we getting. So Mike is gonna be coming to you guys soon. I'm trying to finish up the cover. I've been struggling because I got a lot of things that's been happening. Uh Lost my brother on the 7th of January to COVID. So uh I was trying to get my cover up so I could get the sign up page started on in January, but when I heard that, it kind of everything went kind of sideways, and I've been kind of all over the place since then. And my focus has been kind of strained. So, uh, trying to refocus and get my head back in the game. And so, yeah, I'm here. Let me see what I got here. Oh, oh, let me shut him up. All right. We got sound. So, okay. All right. So, we are going to be talking about what's going to be coming with Mike because I want to make sure that everybody knows that Mike is going to be bringing a lot of characters. We're going to be bringing a lot of superheroes, and we're going to be bringing a lot of bad guys. And it's not going to be the kind of stories like with Invincible, because Invincible, I liked it. There's a lot of action with the with the Amazon series, there was good action and stuff, but with the comic book, from what I remember, there wasn't as much action. And but what I didn't like about Invincible is that the characters didn't have a lot of depth. The main characters had more depth, but the the other characters, they was basically all the kind of the same. Uh, Strong and really not really having a bunch of different abilities. Like there was a lot of throwaway characters. Like I see a lot of guys talk. I see a lot of people talk about Liefeld, and he created a lot of characters, and I like that he created. I think that's why I bought a lot of uh, image books because Rob Liefeld was a creating monster. He had a lot of books that he came out with, Brigade, Stormwatch, all of these. Well, I don't know, not Stormwatch, but a lot of characters that he created, and that's what I wanted. And I didn't intend to do it in the way that I am, but I know that I have no other choice. I have a lot of characters that I have here, and if I didn't get them out, it would take me forever if I didn't do a lot of characters in this book. So that's why I push towards getting a larger uh this is my Bible. This is the book that I have all my character names in. Uh, I have over 10,000. I'm not specifically sure how many characters they are, but there's 10,000 names and in this book, over 10,000 names. I stopped counting after a while, and I've decided that I'm not putting any more in because I have way too many. There's nothing else I could do with all of those names. So uh, I sifted through all three books. The first book has the first generation of characters, and that's only like the last half of the book. And then the second and third books has the second and third generations. and I should have tried to chose my characters from one book at a time because I think it would have been a nice story to tell. But I didn't. I was just looking for the characters because when I first came on to YouTube, I was scared that I was gonna have people trying to steal my ideas, right? So, but then listening to Ethan and Ethan Van Sciver and a bunch of the other guys, they said basically they led me to believe that as long as you have your stories and everything, and you keep them kind of tight, that they can't really steal your characters unless they have like all your stories and everything too. So that's but in trying to protect myself, I was picking a bunch of characters that I didn't really do a lot of work on, so that when I if that did happen, it wouldn't be characters that I was like deeply committed to or put a lot of effort into in order to get what the characters out that I created. I wouldn't have to worry about losing them because if I did, I still have my main characters that I put all of that extra effort into. So that's what basically happens with Mike. Even Mike himself, uh let me see, Mike was originally, is it this him? Nope. Mike came, he was a do, do, let me see. Oh, okay, we got him somewhere in here. uh, Here we go. Now, this was the original. Again, I'm losing it. That was the original Mike drawing. Here we go. That was the original Mike drawing. This one right here, right? So I drew this on the train, and and this female on this side. Here, let me. Okay, this female right here, she was supposed to be a black character, and this one is supposed to be a white female, and those two are gonna be in the book. It's just that they're not gonna look like this because I really was just at the time, even Mike. I just drew this character on the train, and then I gave him the name afterwards. So I didn't really have a set idea of who the character was going to be or anything. It just basically came together. And then once I got him, I he was supposed to be a character who was, uh, I guess you could say, he was supposed to be. I guess I didn't really have a great attachment to him because he was supposed to be more or less a character that I wasn't really attached to at the time. It's just that the story that I was creating behind him was a distinct beginning, middle, and end. And it was like a mini series because it was supposed to be a revolution. He was supposed to be this like champion of the people, and things happened where he was basically he made a decision to stand up for something that he was previously against, or you would think he was against or on the side. Say, okay, there was a cop shooting, where a cop shot a black kid and killed him, right? And it was going to be one of those types of stories, but it was going to escalate. And he was thought of, Mike is being thought of because he came from a military background to where even his abilities came from the government. So people thought of him, other black people in the neighborhood, or thought of him as a sellout type of a character. So I kind of didn't really like him either. So he's basically like the sellout character to like the the what do they call inner city type youth, that he was protecting the white folks and the businesses and the government. He was the agent of the government and all of that. And he didn't come to the poor neighborhoods to protect them and fight for them and things like that. So there was this one dude who's like a gang member, but he has abilities, and he's really smart. But at the time, he still had a lot of abilities, and they had a conflict to where they was at odds, and the gang dude was calling him a sellout and all of this, and he was basically blowing him off, but he's internally angry about being thought of in this manner, like he didn't care. So when he was the incident with the kid getting killed was like a while back, like years previous, and so he was being chastised by this kid. And when he left the kid, he was a bit on the angry side, and he witnessed this other shooting. You know, these shootings happen a lot sometimes, but that was the impetus for the story, was that he was he was he was like flying. He was on his way. Well, in my head at the time, he was leaving this meeting with this kid, and he was like heated. But it could have also been that he had been carrying this anger around with him. It doesn't. Oh, excuse me. It doesn't have to be that what happens took place immediately after um, leaving this kid. But anyway, what happens is that he witnesses a cop shoot a black kid. You know, he's a Superman, so he's flying. He's basically flying over, and he witnesses it. And he's so angry that he attacks the cop and winds up killing one of the cops. And there's other superheroes that find out here about the incident, and they come and take him away to answer for him attacking this cop and killing him. So he goes, but the gang member dude, he's starting a lot of, because he sees that Mike actually stood up and did something that he considers to be for the people and against the system and all of that. He's finally stepping up and did the right thing, that sort of thing, right? And what happens is that he's instigating, backlash against Mike being taken in against this the death of this police officer. So of course, the police officer, uh, they want to put Mike on they want to put him up on charges. He can't just kill an officer because of what he witnessed. He should have brought him in for to be prosecuted just like anybody else. And so they want Mike to suffer. They want there's a the system wants him to be punished. There are superheroes that want him to be punished, and basically there are a bunch of superheroes that are starting to take sides, and Might is supposed to, and basically they want to, people want to break him out, and especially the gang members and stuff. They want to break him out and use him as a poster boy for doing, against the system, and start rioting and all of this stuff like that. And the superheroes are starting to take sides too on whether he did the right thing. He was there, he witnessed it, all of this stuff like that. So it winds up devolving or escalating to a situation where it becomes a revolution where people are actually fighting, and it's supposed to, the story is supposed to go on to where there's a civil war breaks out, and the whole eastern seaboard has been taken over by anti police type of situation, and or the pro might, uh the pro might freedom brigade or whatever is has taken over the east coast, and everybody else is trying to, they're fighting to take it back, because that's what, that's in my mind where the story was supposed to go. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to slowly devolve into this revolution where this civil war breaks out, and and humans, regular people, and superheroes are all taking sides, and they're going to war, waging this massive war over whether, whether Mike was right or not, and whether he should be freed or not, and all of this. So, and I wasn't even sure if I was gonna kill him off or not in this story. So I still think I'm gonna finish writing it, because it could be an elsewhere story. But the story that I'm telling now with him is changed drastically. So uh, he has he has might is a because of the, I knew when I started writing this new storyline, and this, I started writing that about a year ago, being on Dan Frager's and everything. He I really started getting into the writing, but it got escalated because I know that I couldn't just bring out Might and have one story going. It would have been good, but I know that I had to get a lot of characters in, because I had to make it epic in order for it to be the engine that I wanted it to be. I need to be able to bring in a lot of characters, and be able to, I need to be able to have a venue so that I can display my characters and my creativity. And so that's why I think I've gone all out. And it's hard because I've never really done this before, and I know that, and I have no, I get, it's, I have to. It's one of those roads that has to be, uh you have to ride on through it. You have to go about it in the way that you feel is best, because like I said, I'm older. I'm not a young dude. I'm late 50s, pushing 60s, and I know that I don't even know how much time I got left, because my brother was only 6 years older than me, and he let himself get so sick. So uh he was only 65 or so like that. So, and I'm not trying to go that young, but I don't know how many years I got left. So that's why I'm saying I know that I have to put out uh when I started writing this story, I know that I had to be big enough to where I can get enough of my characters in there to feel that I'm accomplishing something, and then it had to be something that can spin off my into a universe of characters to open up the Might universe. So Might being a character that I really didn't have any big love or knowledge of a year ago. He wasn't even one of the characters that I had built a lot of a story behind, because most of my story, let me see, most of my stories went to blackmail. This is a blackmail. This is the only drawing that I've ever drawn of him. He's inside the Bible. He's like in the first pages of the Bible. He's like in the first pages right here where I actually drew uh, the character, and then did a little bit of a origin story. There's like three, four, five page, maybe more than that, origin story on him and a few other characters in the front pages, and in the back half was all of the names of all of my original characters, and some of them are gonna be in this book, the first book, Might, and Might is gonna take us. Ooh, Might is gonna open up, and it's gonna what I have it, I'm planning it for it to do is to introduce a bunch of characters, and there's definitely going to be death and mayhem, but I don't want to kill off a whole bunch of my characters or just have them come parading through where you don't get the chance to know them. I want to have the characters come in, and you get to see them, you get to know them, and then as the stories build, one or two get knocked off here, one or two get knocked off there, and then I'll bring in other characters, and those will be some of my more favorite characters, the ones that I've been looking forward to bringing in, like Blackmail and well, Mega. I'm bringing him in, and he's one of my original characters, so I've never I don't have to worry. What's wrong with this daggone thing? Mega, this guy right here. Let me Mega. He was one of my first characters ever created. He's one of my very first characters. So Might is allowing me to bring in a lot of characters, and I'm also allowing me to develop characters, brand new characters that I've never drawn before, like her. She's gonna be Red Devil. That's she's gonna be in the book. She's gonna be a demon, but she's a good guy. I don't have an origin story for her yet because uh, I want to make it good, and she's a hard character for me so far to come up with a good origin for. So I already know that she's a demon. I know that she was in what we think of as hell, and she was freed. But I have to get more in depth into her story. I'm trying to let it just come to me. I'm not used to pushing the issue with the stories, but I know that I have to. Uh, but stories always are better when for me, the story aspects and character aspects always better when they just kind of come to me. I don't go chasing them, right? So she's gonna be a demon, and she gets more demon like when well I should say she looks more human at times. Her feet and everything changes, so and even the wings go away. So she's something like a vampire in ways where she can look more human and then change into a more demon look. So these are characters that's gonna be in the book, and these are good guys. She's a good guy, Red Devil, but they have their issues. You gotta have characters that have issues. So that's what I'm working on, issues. If you can, and this is Blackmail. He's what I call my Batman. He's my Batman, and he originally kind of looked like this. I did more work on this, but it's the cross hatching and stuff up here. It's the cross hatching and my over here I did something else that I have to. I've been working on getting this look, working it in, maybe making it a little lighter or whatever. I think I use a really thin. I think I use like a 10 or an 8 as far as the pen size when doing that. I know you're not supposed to you go too thin because you can't see it, but I'm trying to find my own look and my own style, and so I've done this style. This is a regular type of let me see. What's this say? Yeah, I'm trying to do this more traditional comic book style, and I'm doing more of a painter style, and I've done all kinds of different styles. This type of style, it's I'm just trying everything to see what that I feel more comfortable with, and I'm trying to blend them all together. And I don't know what but so far with Blackmail, I mean Black Talon, I'm trying to come up with another design for him because this I was trying to kind of steal a design that I saw on in let me see what's the name? Oh, Young Justice. Young Justice they had, let me see if I can pull that up. Young Justice they had I don't think I need to show the hold on. I don't think I need to share the audio because that might get me in trouble. I think that's what I did this morning. I played Gigantor, and I think that YouTube cut my sound throughout the rest of the live stream. So let me see. Let me see if I can find. I want to show you guys. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up something and see if I can. I'm gonna not have the sound up, and I'm gonna just show the design if I can find the right episode. But it's the design that they had for Shade during the last season of Young Justice, the last garbage season that they came out with. It was a terrible season, and they made everybody gay. They slowed down the action dramatically, and the from Superman to the Superman Batman adventures to Justice League to the Young Justice and all of the DC animated movies, all of them had a lot of action, but they never came out. That last season of Young Justice was just terrible, man. They slowed it down. They started talking about relationships and all kinds of stuff. So they really didn't have a lot. They're going, why is nothing's working right? And oh, okay, I see what I'm doing. All right, okay, I see what happens. All right, and this player is not coming up. This video player is not opening. Okay, there it is. Okay, it opened up, but it opened up 10 times now. Okay, that's too many times. All right. So let me see if I can find this Young Justice episode. So trying to steal. I tried to steal this design, but I need his hands to stay black because his name is Black Talon, right? So I need his hands to be black. And okay. Yeah, so I need his hands to be black so that when I call him Black Talon, his talons are black. And so, okay, Young Justice, Young Justice, Young Justice. Here it is. Now, which one was it with shade? Oh, I don't have to do this. Okay. That's good. This is good. Okay. I'm going to find it on YouTube because I know I had it on YouTube. I saved it on YouTube. So, yeah, so that design, let me share that back. Yeah, here we go. So I was saving this design right here. I was trying to uh shade had black, gray, and like 2 or 3 different shades of gray, right? So I was trying to steal that design, trying to see have his hands black. That's why I put this black mark here. I want his hands black, his arms right here like a dark gray, and then maybe his chest a lighter gray. So that means this area and this area would be, this is dark gray, this is black. This would have to be another type of gray, and then maybe a light gray. But the way they had it then, that's why I said the way he did it, it was like alternated to where one was overlying the other, and then you would see other patches of the lighter grays. Let me see if I can find that. Because I know I put it, I know I had it. Let me see. I knows, I knows. Let me see what I knows. History or watch later. I think I have it on watch later. Let me see. Shimon Craig. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Shade, 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 shade. I might not have it here. Let me see. Young Justice. Young Justice Shade. Young Justice. Um Shade. That's the character's name. Yeah, there he is. Here he is right here. All right. Yeah, this is it right here. All right. Pause. All right, now let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. This is what I was trying to do with Black Talon. I was trying to steal this idea. Oops, oopsies. No, I had to pull that back so that you can see. You can see this here. I'm not gonna put the sound, so because you don't need the sound. You don't need the sound. You just need to see what I'm trying to show you here. You see this guy? You see this guy right here? This is shade. And you see how he got the black, then he got the dark gray, then he's got this light gray, and then the dark gray right here. It goes with borders around here. Then he has the light grays, and then the black up in here, and it kind of ties everything. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to mix it up and make like this with a ballistic type of outfit for him. And that's why I say he's kind of my Batman, because I call him my Batman, not because I'm trying to rip off Batman or anything like that. I call him my Batman because he's he's my he's my dude who has the least amount of abilities. He doesn't or he doesn't have super strength. But in my world, in in Mike's in the Mike universe, Batman would get killed. Batman wouldn't be able to survive. See, I'm gonna have lower tier characters who don't have any abilities, but they won't be able to make it uh, up to that. They'll be street level guys, and there'll be some dudes who I call. Let me see if I got it here, so I don't have to rewrite it. Do da. Yeah, right here. You get out of here, Gigantor. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Okay, okay. My characters now. Um, we have we have we have um Marvel, 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 Marvel has mutants, mutants who are homo. I know what you're thinking. All right, cut it out, you guys. All right, homo superior, right? Superior, right? That's their scientific term for mutants, right? And then DC has metahumans. Meta humans. Well, I didn't want to call my guys mutants or Homo superior or metahumans or anything like that. So I call mine's engine, neo genetic, or next generation humans. Engine. So that's I also got other designations because, like I said, for my Bible, where's my Bible? Where's my Bible? For my Bible, each book I call them different uh designations. This one is called something else. OG something original genetic. something like that. Original Geno something. I forget what I call it, but it's written inside there. Each one has it at the beginning, has it written in there. So has a different name. Each book is considered a different generation. So they're all three called different generational names, but all together they're called NGen. They're called neogenic or next generation humans. So I also got like alpha breed and all kinds of other stuff in there. I made sure that I had like 12 or 13 different names. And in the back, in this last book, all the way in the back, there's like 100 different power sources or energy sources that I could use to create superheroes with. So I've got all kinds of stuff, man. Like I said, it's at least 125 different names or power sources that I could use to create characters with. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff. Um, I look forward to bringing you guys a lot of stories, and we're gonna start on the planet Earth, and that's why I like having uh I like having these uh characters and stories because okay, this is Mike. This is what I was breaking down earlier on the other channel, on my other channel, but all of my sound got fucked up, so I have to really go over this again. So I want to do Might and I want to have these books, but Might is supposed to come to y'all with this we what I'm trying to do with Might is have you're gonna be introduced to Might first with this um you're supposed to get Might with a whole bunch of you're gonna have like 12, 12 original characters, right? Including Mike. And then you're gonna get 3 guest stars, right? And that's gonna be cameo, yeah, cameo, Everman, and my Nebula character, right? Those are the 3 guest stars, and in the first book, you're gonna get them in the book, right? They're gonna be guest stars, and in the second campaign, that's during the first campaign, and during the second campaign next year sometime. After the first book is delivered to y'all guys, and y'all know that y'all gonna get your books and everything, then the second campaign, you're gonna get the second book of Might and 3 first books from Everman, Cameo, and my Nebula character. Remember, that's his Nebula name is something else. But and this is my character that's gonna take y'all into outer space. So everything is not gonna be. This is what every character that I'm gonna be bringing new to y'all is gonna introduce another aspect that I won't be touching on with Mike himself, right? So Mike is gonna be mostly dealing with. Let me. Okay. Mike is gonna be mostly dealing with uh bad guys, badass bad guys, right? And the Illuminati characters. Is it Illuminati? Is it Illuminati? Illuminati? Yeah, that's an N. Cut it out. Naughty. Illuminati groups. And these Illuminati groups could be in any of those books, right? it could be in any of these groups because remember, these Illuminati groups are fighting for control of the world, and there's going to be at least three, 2 to 3 groups, right? And they can be in any state, so if or any city. So if these characters are in different cities, Everman, Cameo, well, my Nebula character is going to be in outer space, so he won't be. Well, but we're gonna have other cities that we're gonna have characters in, and so Mike is gonna be in Portsburg, and then Cameo and Everman could be in some other. And I have city names already. Uh, I have well, I have a map for Portsburg. It's gonna be a 3 city. There's gonna be a 3 city thing going on with Portsburg, like three three city like the tri-state area. It's gonna be like a tri-city thing because Portsburg is a big port city, and let me show you the map. Let me see if I can show you this map here. Show y'all. Yeah, I was. That's not the one. That's not the one. Okay. I know I put names and stuff all on here. Okay. This is gonna be Portsburg. I did this. Where's my other map? But this is gonna be Portsburg, right? Let me. This is gonna be Portsburg right here, right? And over here, down along this side, is gonna be a river. This is a river, and there's gonna be canals that come through the city right here and down through the lake and come down through here like this. This is gonna be river, and this is gonna be rivers down here along this side, and there's gonna be a river down here, and there's gonna be like tributaries or canals or whatever come through the city, right? And this is going to be a city. This is Portsburg. All of this is Portsburg. And these are 2 lakes. And this is going to be another city. I think I'm going to call this one Legend City. And this one over here is Cliff Falls. So all of these work together because this is a port city. And all of the ships come in through here. And there's some islands right here that kind of like blocks off these are all islands. Yeah, like a archipelago. Yeah, these are gonna be like an archipelago that kind of see like cordons off the port, and this is gonna be like the main city right here, main port city, and all of these ports are right here, and then up here is gonna be like Harlem, and it's gonna be separated by the canal, and then back in here is gonna be like the Bronx. Yeah, I'm setting it up like it's New York because that's what I know. So, but it's different because it's not set up like so. And then over here is gonna be like the rich, like will be on Long Island because it's got all the rich area would be up in here, right? And well, this is city too, but this is rich. The city, and then this would be Long Island. And then you got Staten Island over here, but this would be like more farm areas down in here. And then over here would be a naval base where the meteorite hit. See, this is the city. This would be the city of Portsburg right here, or Port City. This whole thing is Portburg, but this is Port City, the main city where all of the business takes in the big skyscrapers and all of that shit, right? And then over here is the military base, and out here is where the meteorite hit, where that the substance started spreading and getting into the city, the lower city, and and they built the base after they took down. They put the base there to make sure everything stays quiet there because they had to dig up all kinds of ground there because all of this stuff got mutated by this substance. and a sample, the substance and the uh the soil. There's tons of soil and stuff that's up on this space station. And in the space station, that's where they do all of the testing. And the substance has been rendered inert. And but they still send samples of it. Remember, this is from back in the 60s. So even to today, they're still testing it and seeing what can be done with it. And but they're scared of it, so that's why they got it on the space station, because they tried burning it, they tried everything, and nothing. They had to basically, this doctor helped them find a cure or something that rendered it inert, and he died in the process, along with a lot of superheroes. There's only a few superheroes that survived from that time, and a lot of them survived the incident. But like I said, some things, well, I said earlier, but like a lot of things, that stream went dead. The sound went dead on that, so I wasn't able to execute. But I had named all of these. I have to rename it. I don't know what happened. Either I got it saved someplace else, or I thought I saved it and I wound up deleting it, all of the stuff, because I had all of this marked or separate. I had all of this separated and names. I had names because over here is Duke side. This is Duke side. This is what would be Harlem. This is named for the dude the doctor who helped them. Uh, there's a Duke side Monument Park named after him, and that's for the superheroes who died that day back in the 60s. And monuments of the city, even though it should be down here, but this place is like a ghetto down here because it used to be rich, but after the incident, it became a ghetto, and now they're trying to regentrify. They regentrification is taking place where they're trying to get the ghetto folks out of there, and their prices are rising and on the and they're trying to get the poor ghetto folk up out of there. So yeah, we got a whole thing working. Like I said, this story is big, it's vast, and uh the dude my Lex Luthor, and I'm only using terms like my Lex Luthor or my Batman so that you could quickly get a grasp of what I'm talking about. But I'm not mimicking these characters. I'm not trying to make them like them at all. It's just that it's the quickest way for me to explain to you where I'm going with the. So there's a businessman I call Bryce Maddox, and he owns Maddox Industries, and he has a tech company called Mad Tech, MADD Tech. So um, that's where you're gonna meet one of my other guys that you're gonna be seeing his origin story, and he's called Cube Squared, or Cube to the Second Power. I'd like cube to the second power better, but cube squared also works. But it's cube to the second power is better because, well, you'll find out. I can't tell y'all everything. I'm gonna tell a lot more during the launch. I'll get y'all acquainted because I want y'all to know what's coming, and I want y'all to be fully acquainted with what's that y'all not gonna get no cheesy bullshit. I want y'all to hear what I'm giving you. But he's gonna be my tech dude, and he starts out at Mad Tech with this other dude, and one goes one way and the other one goes another way. One becomes a bad guy and one becomes a good guy. But Cube to the second power, he becomes a good guy. He develops this artificial intelligence, and but that's not why it's not, it's about artificial intelligence, but it's not. So so it's but I want to tell it so bad. I want to tell so bad, but I know that I have to say I know. So anyway, one of these islands is also going to have a magic dude. So there's going to be uh, uh, a group of magic dudes that I call. So I got Doctor Strange, I got Spider-Man, Iron Man, I got uh mutants, I got everything. Everything that the big two have, I got them in Might. And you're gonna be just introducing more and more characters. But anyway, Bryce Maddox, he's got a rival over here in Cliff Falls, and he's coming up with new stuff. And that's gonna it's gonna down the line, that's gonna come to fruition to some rivalries and some different things. But this is how I have it set up. There's gonna be superheroes but this is more of a farming city. So there's gonna be a small city here, but and the rest of it's gonna be mostly farm and rural type of shit. And up here is gonna be more of a bigger industrial type of a thing. And their trains, see, the trains run from they need to get their stuff down here to the ports. So that's why this three city thing, I'm put together this city thing. And I also wanted it that way so that I could have smuggling and stuff going on, and I could do things like have smuggling rings and all of that. So that's why I'm creating this three city thing. I didn't want it to be about one thing. And then with the other characters will be like the Flash, he's in one city, and Hawkman might be in another city, and then you got John Jones who's in some place or outer space, or was it John Stewart, not John Jones. John Johns is the Martian Manhunter. But that's what I'm thinking about, having different guys, different characters, and in different locations, and every once in a while they come together for main events and stuff like that. And in the future, we definitely gonna have these characters um going into outer space, but not all of them. Might, because Might is one of the more powerful characters, but he's not uh their top shelf guys. He might have been at one point, but he's not now. And you have like he's like a Superman, but he's not an overpowered Superman. Uh, the overpowered Supermen, they are federal, and each I call them the statesmen. Each state has an overpowered superhero. So in case any a big thing jumps off, the federal guys will come in and handle it. Or if they have any uprisings or stuff like that with these super beings, these overpowered superheroes could come in and take care of things. So I also want to go into outer space with Mike. Aside from my Nebula character, I want him to be able to go into outer space. That's after we handle some things and take care of a few things on Earth. And a few books down the line, we're gonna have something from outer space come to Earth. We're gonna have a couple of those. We're gonna have a couple of incidences where might comes something comes to Earth. The first thing I think I'm gonna have come to Earth is gonna be like spacecraft, but they're not gonna necessarily be on Earth. They're gonna be like a Jupiter. And that's why I say I know where Mike's going. This is not gonna be a one book thing. It's gonna be a continuous thing for years. And so years down the line, we're gonna be going into outer space. And while we're in outer space with Mike and whatever characters he believes should go with him because he has a problem with some of the guys on the team. He don't like really working with them because he believes that they're more susceptible to getting killed. Like they're not as strong as some of the other characters on the team, and that he would rather work with. And what happens is that he kind of isolates himself from characters, and he lets his second in command. He lets he lets Nightshade do do all of the coordinating and stuff like that. And when they're out there in the battle, that's when he takes the lead. But as far as the day to day, he lets Nightshade handle that, and he she even wants to go further, and he doesn't want her to because he thinks that it's going to set bad precedents and stuff like that. But she wants to organize the street guys who works in the boroughs and stuff, the lower level guys, the guys who don't have the abilities, the power to make it, their strength or the durability to make it onto the big team. And that's kind of where that's kind of where this character, Black Talon, or I guess you could say him, but this is the newer version. I'm trying to, while I was doing the cover of the book, I kind of re envisioned what he was looking like, well, in the face. So now I'm trying to make the body to match. So anyway, Black Talon, he's my Batman sort of character, and I call him that because he doesn't have as many abilities. He's not as durable. He's not as strong, and he doesn't have all those abilities. He just has like most of the regular street level guys. He only has a little bit of strength because he's an engine. He's an engine naturally. Ooh, he's an engine. Let me, yeah, he's an engine. So, and engine, they don't really have, or what you might call a mutant. These guys don't really get a whole lot of abilities. When they do get them, there's rare to get really powerful, naturally occurring superpowers. Usually they just get like extra durability and like 2 to 3 times the strength of an average human. Average, but most of them like 2 times the strength of a human, about that, and maybe twice the durability. So they could take a little bit more and they can deal out a little bit more than the average human. So they usually are at a lower level if they don't have any other abilities. And so, but this guy is so good. This guy is so good that he excelled past everybody, and so he made it to the big leagues. Otherwise, he was he would always get to the scene before the big guys. He would be solving the cases before the big guys. They would get there, and he would always already be there fighting or taking out dudes or already cleared up, solved the case or something like that. That's how good he was. So they just brought him in because he was always there. He was always fighting with these guys, no matter, even if they didn't think he was worthy, they brought him in. So him and Mike stays miles away from this guy. You know, he don't really want to deal with him because he believes that he's a detriment, that he's gonna need to save his ass or something like that, because he don't have the durability. He can't take the same blows that the more durable dudes can. And one good punch, one good solid hit, and he can get go, his lungs collapsed and his rib cage caved in. So that's what might he's seen a lot of action. He's been around for a long time, and he doesn't want to see people die and stuff like that. So he kind of got like survivor's remorse. He don't want to see people. He don't want to send people in to die and stuff like that, because he used to do that in the military, and he sent a lot of people to die, and he don't want to be like, he don't want that. So the story starts, that's where you're gonna be. He kind of he some of the guys don't like him because he's still so standoffish, and they know why. They know that he doesn't really like dealing with them because they're not. But this guy don't really give a fuck. He don't care, and that's why I like him. I like him a lot because he don't give a fuck. I when I started liking Batman was not, and I've been around for a long time, so I used to watch that uh 60s and the 60s and 70s Batman TV show that I hated. I hated that show. So because it was so gay. So anyway, I hated that show. I liked the Green Hornet. That was a way better show for me. But that was the only show that was on at a certain time, was Batman. So I watched it. And so, but when I started liking Batman, it wasn't even during the animated series in the 90s. It was when Batman went to the same channel that Superman was on, because I think Batman was on Fox, or the channel that became Fox, and Superman was on Pix, which is now the CW, and then they were both being done by the same people, so they combined it. They moved Batman from Fox and turned it into the Batman Superman hour, and they would play Batman and Superman back to back. So, and then they came out with uh what was it called? What's the name of this show? During the Batman series, I mean the Superman series is I forget what it's called, where Batman and Superman work together. Um, what happened is the Joker stole this Jade Dragon, and he took it to Metropolis to try and kill Superman. He took it to Lex Luthor, and he showed Lex Luthor all of this kryptonite, and he wanted to make a deal to take out Superman for him on the DL, and with Lex Luthor's like with his blessings and some money, he wanted to get paid, and I forget, World's Finest. That's what it was called. World Finest. And it was three episodes during the Superman Batman hour, and they made it into a movie, and I got it on DVD, and I have the Batman Superman series, so I can watch it whenever I want. But that's what it's called, World's Finest. And so that's when I started liking Batman, because when Batman went to Metropolis, I think Batman was starting to. Lois Lane was having a problem with Superman, but she loves Superman, didn't like Clark Kent, too tough, didn't like Bruce Wayne, but didn't like Batman, but loved Bruce Wayne. So it was kind of crazy. And in that episode, Batman had a little piece of this jade dragon that the Joker has stole. So he had it in this little tiny bag, this little baggie. And what happened was he confronted Superman, and he didn't show him the kryptonite right out the gate, but he went up to Superman, and I think Superman had, well, no, Batman had went in to mess with one of the bad guys in Metropolis looking for the Joker. And Superman came in there and it's like, hey, what's going on? You in my turf. You overextending your reach. What's going on? So Batman was all over him. Next thing you know, he's throwing Superman across the room. And I was like, God damn, man. It made me respect him because I didn't really care for Batman. I didn't really care for his rogues gallery, because most of his rogues gallery to me a bunch of bitches. I didn't really care for, if you watch the animated Batman animated series, the most of the characters on there, the most of the cartoons were corny. I didn't really care for the Penguin episodes. I didn't really care for the Riddler. I didn't care for you know who I cared for? I like Ra's al Ghul. I like Clayface. I like Ra's al Ghul, Clayface, and some of the Joker, because the Joker had. But I started really liking more of the Joker. Yeah, I started liking him later on during World's Finest, and after that, when they had him in the Justice League and all of those. I didn't really care for the Joker all that much during the Batman animated series until the last season when it moved over to Pix. So that's when I started really respecting and liking Batman. It's just that I watched him in Justice League take some mad crazy hits from some super powered beings, and I just don't believe that he would be able to do it. I respected him. I respected him like crazy in the Justice League animated series, and I liked it, both the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I liked Batman because he would take on anybody. He didn't care. He, in the movies too, Crisis on Infinite Earth, no, isn't not on Crisis on two Earths or something like that. Um, the Red Hood, all of those movies, I got all of them. I have all of them. I have the early ones where he was Sub-Zero, Batman and Sub-Zero, Mr. Freeze. I have all of those. The Batman and the Batwoman, Mystery of the Batwoman or the Catwoman. I have all of those. And all of them on DVD, and I watch them whenever I want to. So um and you can't you have to pay streaming services in order to, and then if they move it or do anything with it, you have to go chasing around. I got him in my collection. So that's when I really started liking Batman, and that's why I knew I wanted Black Talon to be that type of a character. I wanted him to be a badass that I could really respect, and that I wanted to make a concerted effort to make him like this badass dude with hardly any abilities. But I know that in my world that I he just couldn't make it. Batman would not be able to handle it with the superheroes that I'm going to be bringing. So that's why I said he's got to have some extra ability so that he can take those extra punches and stuff like that. So he's not just a regular human. He's and all of the people who had the treatments that made them into superheroes back when Might was in the military and the meteorite crashed to Earth. All of those guys were NGen because those they wouldn't be able. A regular human wouldn't have been able to take the treatment. They would have died in during the experiment. So they wouldn't have been able to become superheroes. So I've got other ways to make characters superheroes. I've got all kinds of different things from natural occurring things to God created powerful things, uh, altars, shrines, all kinds of things, man. I've got all kinds of things from all. I have different types of energies that natural, like I guess you could say, like dark matter and stuff like that. I got all of these types of things that I have working. So you're gonna see all kinds of different characters coming your way. This right here, this is a new team that you might not see them anytime soon. I definitely gonna want to have a couple of teams that I'm gonna want to work with. I'm gonna hit you with this big group with 12 characters, including Might. It's going to be 12 with Might included. And then you're going to have three separate guys who's going to be my Nebula character, Cameo, and then Everman. And then later on, I'm going to bring in some more dudes, single characters. And then I'm going to start promoting kids because in this first book with Might, it's gonna turn towards you're gonna have like at the end of either the first book or the second book, there's gonna be some introduction to some kids, and because Might is gonna have Mega, he's gonna be in it, and Mega he's gonna along with the tech dude, the along with Cube to the second power is gonna be a bad guy that they know each other, the tech dudes, because they both come from the tech. And but like I said, one's gonna be bad and one's gonna be good. And then we're gonna have and these stories are gonna be all in Might. It's gonna but I'm gonna have like three storylines. One is gonna be the tech dude, and they're gonna be more slow rolls and then Mega in the lab where they was doing the experiments on in the lab where they was doing the experiments on where they're doing the experiment on the sample. um there's a scientist who is trying to save his kids from a rare disease, and in order to do that, he creates he uses he's a scientist working in biology and synthetics and stuff like that. So he creates this biosynthetic humanoid, and and he realized that his idea that it was gonna be it was gonna be used. He intended it to be used to repair, like for prosthetics. People could get prosthetics, but they won't be. It won't be like a prosthetic. but what happens, it goes more than what he intended because of what happens. And basically he did it to save his kids from this rare disease, and he manages to prolong the kid's life the first time that he did the experiment, and now he's trying to make it to where they wouldn't have to worry about keep getting treatments. And so he ups the levels, and in the process he creates. I know I'm leaving this sound sketchy, but I'm trying not to tell you everything purposefully. So he basically creates Mega by accident, and in the process, they save the kids, and those kids I want to help. I want to make like part of the beginnings of Young Justice or Teen Titans or something like that. My own group of young superheroes. So in the future, this is gonna spin off into gonna have some, and I already got bad guy kids too. That's gonna be coming in. Like I got a kid called Playmate. Yeah, I was thinking whether I should give up his name or not, but I got a kid called Playmate coming in, and then I got other characters coming in, and yeah, I'm gonna be bringing them in slowly. Some of them will come in like that. They'll be brought in slowly, and you'll see them come into their origins and stuff like that in the pages of Might. And others will just pass through. They'll come in, help fight, and then go off into their own book, or maybe go on to some one of these other books that I'm going to be coming out with. Like instead of coming through the pages of Might, maybe they'll come through Cameo's book or Everman's book or the Nebula character's book, depending on the situation. But I don't want to get too crazy because I know that I'm gonna only have a limited amount. I'm gonna need to hire writers and artists to help me flush all of these stories out. I have a lot of it started, but for the most part, I met Mega is one of my old characters, so I know his story. But weaving these stories together is the problem. I don't want to do too much and like have y'all flooded with stuff and not making any sense, or being too much having too much story and you're getting lost. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that you can stay grounded in the characters and the stories and everything that I'm bringing to you. So that's why I want to bring them in slowly, and and the characters that's gonna really suffer are the guys that I haven't had a lot of work on. So even though there are characters that I'm creating now that I didn't think that I would be able I thought that I'd be able to like bring him in and just discard him really quick, but I'm starting to like them because their origins and their abilities and everything is making I had intended there are specific characters that I intended to get rid of that now thinking twice. I'm second guessing because I like I like them. I'm starting to like them a lot in writing them and creating their abilities and displaying their abilities and everything. So yeah, I'm really very much in depth with this and creating these characters and trying to bring Might to the reality. And I want to show you how I'm mocking up. Yeah, fuck it. Let me show it. I wasn't going to show it because it's not finished. it's not even the last rendition of the cover that I did. This is an older rendition because I don't want to show the colors and everything yet. So this is it. Now, Might is finished. This isn't the finished one, but Might is finished, and these two at the top are finished. These are the bad guys, and at the bottom are the good guys. And so I have to finish these two down here at the bottom. That's what I'm working on now. These two over here are finished. I have to finish down here and then put the color in the bottom and everything, but I got everything else is finished. So, and then I had to put down here across here. I'm gonna put Might Universe. Let me see if I got. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Here it is. See the Might Universe. That's what I have to add to the cover. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, guys. That's what's gonna be the cover. That's what it's gonna look like, and I'm trying to get it out there soon by the weekend for the sign up page, and yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, fellas, peoples. I know I've been struggling a lot because I have a lot to do. I have a lot to do. I didn't know that it's gonna be this hard, man. Creating so many characters. I didn't know I was gonna have to create some. I didn't think of it that way. But yeah, if you're gonna have 15, you're gonna have 12 superheroes plus other heroes running around in the street. You have to develop a lot of bad guys, and there's gonna be a lot. And I haven't even talked about the rogues gallery, my rogues gallery of bad guys. There's gonna be a rogues gallery, and that rogues gallery, you're gonna get to know them when Mike goes out into outer space or into other dimensions, because I don't want to have multi-universal. I don't want that. I don't want to have a bunch of universes like in the in the in DC and Marvel. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to do time travel. But I do have. I want to have dimensions. Like dimensions will be totally different from what ours ours is. Our realm or universe is. There'll be pocket dimensions, kind of like. So, like we can have a dimension with medieval times, or with monsters, or a pocket dimension with some strange existence or whatever. But it will never be multiple. We'll never be might fighting might. We're never going to have the superheroes fighting themselves because they went to some alternate dimension and they seen themselves and they got to fight each other. I don't want to do that. I never liked that. I never cared for that. Now I'm not going to say that I haven't seen it done well in some of the uh like that Crisis on Two Earths, where they went to the other universe and there was the Wonder Woman, but she wasn't called Wonder Woman. She was called like Superwoman or something like that. And then they had Owlman and Ultraman and the different characters. They were like Superman and the alternate versions, but they wasn't. So they were and they wasn't. But there are also times when they were exact, just slightly different, because their universe had slightly different life experiences. So they were the characters, but because like when Flash went back in time at that Flashpoint thing, and instead of Bruce Wayne being Batman, his father was Batman. That type of thing. It was done well. Don't get me wrong. I liked it, seeing it, but for me, I don't want to do those types of stories. I'm not really interested in those. I think I have enough on my plate right now for to be wanting to delve into that. And so I think I was saying earlier that I'm gonna have characters when I introduce a new character, it's gonna introduce another. It's gonna open up another realm of storytelling in my universe. So, like, I'll introduce Blackmail, right? And Blackmail, he will bring his own universe. Well, not universe, his own story. And I would like to say, I like to start. I want to tell it so bad, but I can't. I want to wait because he's gonna bring an aspect of storytelling that I haven't seen a lot of, and it's gonna be. I don't want to tell, but I want y'all to expect stuff. Yeah, I do. I do. Okay. In other words, there's gonna be characters that I'll introduce, like when I want to introduce, I'm gonna introduce like if I want to introduce demons and hell and that type of stuff like that, there's gonna be a superhero that deals with that specifically. So that when that specific type of superhero gets introduced, it will bring that whole aspect with him. So either demons will attack, and then that character will come in who specifically fights demons. So it will introduce demons and stuff like that to the Might universe, along with the bad guy or the good guy who's fighting it. And well, I'm not saying the reason why I'm jumping around because I'm trying not to blow up anybody's spot. That the demon aspect has nothing to do with blackmail. That's going to be something absolutely different, but I'm trying not to give away too much. So when I do have characters, there will be characters that will be introducing demon stuff to my universe. And those characters will have their own storylines, just like Blackmail. He has his own storyline and a whole bunch of other characters. I think he's going to have the biggest dump of other characters for a single character. He's going to have a lot of characters come with him, both on the good side and the bad side. He's basically going to be like another Might. We're going to be introducing a lot of characters. And depending on how long some of my character runs go, like I want to do Might for a long time, but I see an end, and depending if I'm still alive, um, I would finish Might, and then when I introduce uh, Blackmail, I would want to like when Might finishes, I would want to transition right over and start working on Blackmail. So that's basically what I've kind of thinking on. If I get that, if I want to retire before then I will. But if I still got it in me and I can still draw and do all of that, I want to be able to move over and do and keep going with another character. But if not, then I'll introduce them and let somebody else go move along with it, and I'll just write and let somebody else handle it. But that's how I want to do it. And with the Rogues Gallery, when Might is off on different worlds or in different dimensions fighting evil, then the Might Chronicles Mike Chronicles will then take over, and that's when you'll be seeing a lot more of the Rogues Gallery of characters. Let me see. Rogues, yeah, the Chronicles. The Chronicles will be okay. Do 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 do. Right. Okay. Okay, there we go. The Chronicles would be like the supplemental book, and then Mike Chronicles would be the supplemental book. Like you will have Nightshade's origin, Rex origin, and the first meeting of Might and the arms dealer. That's going to be one of the bad guys. So, and so when Might is off on another world, you will see him in the main book. That's when you would get the main book would have Might, and he would be going off world or into another dimension or whatever the situation is. And during that time, there'll be at least one story in the Chronicles that will deal with the characters left on Earth, the superheroes left on Earth. Maybe all three might have to deal with that, but we can either tell origin stories of the other backgrounds from the other characters at this time, or and we could do and or we could do them both. We don't, we could do them. We could do and or we can do either. So we can either tell the stories that's taking place, or we can tell origin stories, or we could do both, and that would leave openings for a lot more storytelling with the characters that we're going to be introducing in this book. And that's what I want for my all of this stuff was up here. I was just going over how much the book should cost if I go by, because guys, I hear a lot of people saying for my first book you shouldn't go with no 100-page book because it's going to be a lot of work and it's a lot to deal with. So, but if I don't, then I'm going to have to rewrite the book. I'm going to have to rewrite it and cut out stuff so that could only get a 68 page for my first book, right? And then that would be $25, right? For that. And I was thinking that if I'm able to give the two books, like if I can't do the 116 and I just want to do the one book and then the second book, because people might not want to, if okay, this is my problem. This is what I'm worried about. I give my first book, because I want to do a 68-page giant size first issue and then two smaller books. And then for my first book, I want to introduce him to as a 68-page giant size issue, right? And then for the second book will be a regular 68-page book, not the 116 pages. And that's because I want to break the book down into 22-page books, 22, 22, and 24 for one of the books, right? for when after the campaign's going somewhere, maybe a year or two down the line, around my neighborhood, I could break them down and sell them for $5, right? $4 or $5. That's what my intentions are. So that's what I was thinking with the first book. You have a 68-page giant size first issue with two smaller books, 24 each, right? Two 24-page books. That gives you a 68 and a 48-page, 116 pages. But if I charge $25, then the second book I charge $25 for the 68-page book. People might not like that because I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't, right? So if I charge 25 for the 68 and then 15 for the 48, it would come up to $40. And then for the sign up, I might knock a $5 off for everybody who signs up early to the sign up. And afterwards, it would be 40, but for everybody who signs up, it would be 35. That's what I'm thinking, so that it'd be fair and it wouldn't feel like people would be getting gypped, spending $25 for 116 for the first book, and then $25 for the second book for only 68 pages. I think that would be, I think that's would be better. And then afterwards, because it would be more normal than not that you're going to be getting 68 pages more regularly. I want to keep it 68 for this 3-book thing. That's why I want. So if I knock it down to 48, I don't want to go that low. I would rather keep it at 68. That's what I'm trying to do. And then for only special events, I will have them like for major battles or major some team up type of incident or something that goes down. Will I do another book like this, 116 pages, where I would want to introduce the characters and have that extra stuff involved. So that's what I'm intending. That's what I want to do for Mike. And this is what I've been setting up and I've been working towards. And I hope you guys, there's a lot of characters I want to introduce, man. Uh, I want to bring back mummies because people don't know about mummies, right? You see a lot of guys with werewolves and all of this. Okay. You got guys doing wolves, werewolves, uh, vampires, vampires. I've seen them do mermaids, even though mermaids, not really monsters. But you can see that's the creature of the Black Lagoon, right? So I see vampires, I see werewolves, I seen zombies, but you don't see nobody doing mummies. And I'm going to be the dude that brings back mummies. And I'm not going to tell you how I do it, but I'm going to also bring characters who can destroy these mummies, but that's not necessarily their job. Like how I said that I was going to be bringing in characters who will introduce a whole genre of characters, like if I'm going to be bringing demons, these guys are specific jobs are going to be to fight demons and that whole demonic realm. Well, the mummies, I'll have characters that handles them, but the characters, the good guys that I intend on bringing in, they're not going to be specifically. These guys are not going to be their nemesis. Their nemesis. They're going to be responsible for other things, but mummies can be part of their job because their abilities their abilities lend credence to being able to destroy mummies. So that's why I want to introduce that. But that's going to be down the line, and there's going to be a group. That's going to be a group, not the hit crew. This is going to be some other guys that I created a while back, and I just can't wait to see these guys in action. So that's going to be them. And yeah, so we're going to be out in the universe. We're going to be doing all kinds of things. We might travel to the center of the universe. We're going to travel to the edge of the universe. We're going to be traveling, and things are going to be coming towards us. And I switched it around. I was going to have it to where we're going to have, like, they are in, like, Marvel, they have these what do they call them, the Celestials and stuff like that. Well, I want to have these types of characters too, but I was gonna have those as the last stories that wraps everything up, but I don't think that it's gonna be a big enough event, so I switched the events around to where we might meet those types of characters first, and then there's going to be this other event. I don't know if I should say. Okay, I can tell you this. Andromeda. Anybody ever heard of Andromeda? Andromeda. Okay. Now, I think it's Andromeda. Andromeda? Okay, if I'm not mistaken, Andromeda is uh, um another galaxy, and it's heading right for the Milky Way. And they believe that it's going to collide. They're going to collide the Milky Way and Milky. Sorry about that. I'm just drawing. I'm writing in different, strange angle, my arm, and so you're getting funny looking letters. So anyway, I believe they say that these two are going to collide. Maybe we'll do some of that. Let me see. Let me look it up. What Andromeda? Andromeda and Andromeda galaxy. Andromeda. Let me see. Can y'all see this? Let me see. Okay, we're gonna have to stop the share. Stop the share. And we're gonna share it out with y'all. Let's get this going. Okay. Also known as Messier. Originally, the Andromeda Nebula is a barrier spiral galaxy. Okay. Let me see. I think Andromeda is going to collide. Let me see. Andromeda. Collide. Colliding with Milky Way. There it is. End of the Milky Way. See, this says right here. Oh man, hold on. I gotta redo this. Going back to Cali. See, I like space stuff. I like a lot of outer space shit. I got a lot of characters that I developed from watching outer space shit. Nope, that's the wrong one. PBS.
In 4 billion years, anyone left in our solar system will witness the most spectacular event to take place in the history of the night sky, as the Andromeda Galaxy plows headlong into our own Milky Way. But will that be the very last night sky our solar system witnesses?
All right.
Suns. Andromeda is also racing towards our galaxy, and a central bulge that 500,000 light years away in the constellation of Andromeda. That's M31. The Andromeda Galaxy is 2.5 million light years away and host to 1 trillion stars. It has a beautiful spiral structure spanning its gently rotating disk 220,000 light years in diameter, and a central bulge that hides a giant black hole that contains the mass of well over 100 million suns. Andromeda is also racing
100
towards
million.
our galaxy at 110 kilometers per second. That faint blob will slowly grow to around half again its current size over the next 2 billion years. Then its growth will accelerate. At 3 billion years, it'll be 2.5 times bigger. At 3 3/4, it'll fill half the sky. At around 4 billion years from now, it'll crash through the Milky Way and both galaxies will be utterly disrupted in the monumental collision.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. That's it. That's it. Hold on. Shut up, Shednut. All right. Now, this is what I'm going to be using for the end. This is going to be the finale. If this story, if I make it to this storyline, if everything goes right with my storytelling and everything along the way, this is what you're going to have to look for. Andromeda. This galaxy is going to be colliding with the Milky Way. That's right. I'm going to be telling that story. That's right, bitches. Prepare yourself for an epic adventure. Because I know what's going on, and I wish I could tell you guys right now, but when this shit jumps off, you're going to have a serious storyline coming. And I don't think anybody has touched on the story the way that I will be. I don't think Marvel, DC, or anybody has a storyline like this storyline because it's going to be epic. It's going to be seriously an epic story, and I'm going to be building to that. Like I said, I was going to do that storyline first, and then have this meeting with these like celestials after. But I think it would be a come down. I thought it would be anticlimactic to finish it on fighting celestials and stuff like that. And it as opposed to fighting a whole galaxy. So that's what I'm setting up. I just figured that had to be the most epic tale that I could possibly tell. So I switched it around, and there's going to be a building towards that end, and it's already started. Believe it or not, it's already started. So Yeah, it's gonna be a great storyline, and I can't wait for you. But you're gonna have to hang around for a few years before we get there, because it's not gonna happen overnight. I've got to build to this. We got to get out to outer space and then come back, and some other things are gonna happen. We're gonna have a lot of things. We're gonna have several events where things come to Earth, and then we're gonna have several events where we go to other aspects of the other areas of the galaxy and other solar systems and things like that, and introduce to new characters. And uh, like there's a character, there's, you know, about the spiral arms of a galaxy. uh okay, let me show you right quick. Let's get in here and show you right quick, and then we're gonna call it a wrap. So let me see. Let me do some speckly shit. Let's do some speckly shit. All right. Okay, yeah, that's good. All right. Let's do this speckly shit. Let's go to this big one. Let's go to this big one right here. All right. Now we're gonna put this on. Blah, blah. And okay. Now imagine this is the Milky Way, right? Okay. Am I doing this right? Okay. Say this is the Milky Way, and this is the center, and then you got the spiral arms. Maybe I should have did it. I should have did it different. Hold on. Let me see. Let's do the center, and then we're gonna go out like that, right? And out like that. Yeah. And then out like that. Yeah. There we go. And then out like that, right? So that's the spiral arms of a galaxy, right? Right? So say we live in these spiral arms, right? We live in here. We live in this areas, right? These are the areas where we live. So, okay. Now what we're gonna do is this right here. And all right. Now say Earth or the solar system, our solar system is about here, right? Okay. Even though I think we live further out, closer like this. I think we live closer to the edge from what they say. I'm not sure. But let's just say we live here, right? Now, I have this is something I'm giving this to you guys. Okay. Now, the spiral arms, right? The reason why they don't collide into one another is because in between here there's an energy, and it's called, okay. Let me see, hold on. Okay. This is gonna be hard. Okay, it's called, okay, galactic tidal force energy, right? there's galactic tidal force energy, and that keeps the arms from going too close or too far from each other. But if you try to travel, if you try to travel between here, if you try to travel directly between there, going through this tidal force energy, you'll get ripped to shreds. Atomic, you won't be able to. But there's something that feeds on the edge of this, right? Feeds on the very edge on this until they got strong enough to travel through. And there's a war going on over here, fighting these things. And the people fighting them are another group that I'm creating. I've told you guys about this before. I was drawing them, but I stopped because my inking skills is bullshit. So I got to get back to that. But I'm gonna because I've got developing different styles. You're gonna be seeing all of that. So we're gonna be leaving our solar system to go and help these guys fight. So I'm telling you, I've got all kinds of things that's gonna be coming your way. You're gonna have a lot of stuff coming your way. I've got all of these different scenarios set up so that we're gonna have different things coming at you. And I'm telling you, you're gonna love it because I'm bad like that. No, you guys are gonna love it. You gotta wait until I get the stories out there. Well, we have to build to these situations. Um, and this is gonna introduce a totally different group of outer space characters. Uh, Shoot, I guess all of my outer space characters, you could say that they're like Green Lantern, but these guys are actually a little bit more like Green Lanterns because they're created by a group of characters specifically to protect uh, this galactic spiral arm. So yeah, yeah, guys, you guys are gonna have a great time. Uh, I'm telling you, I've been that's all I've been doing these last months is writing and coming up with ideas and character ideas and designs and all kinds of different things. And there's a lot that I'm going to be bringing to you, a lot of characters that I'm going to be bringing to you. And just be patient with me, please, people, because like I said, this is my first time ever doing any of this. And I look forward to bringing you exciting new stuff. And I think that I'm going to be able to bring you things that you're gonna like. I think you're gonna like my art style. I think you're gonna like my storytelling. I believe it because I'm giving it all I got. I like stories. Like I like Stargate SG-1. I like I like Blade Runner, the original stuff. I like uh Lord of the Rings. I like Star Wars. Those are like my top stuff. Animes. There's some stuff from back in the days y'all might not even know of, like the Record of Lodos Wars. All of these things inspired me. Look it up if you don't know. Get it buy it on Blu-ray from Amazon. Record of Lodos War. And if you can get it, get the record of the Legend of Crystania. That's the second part of it. It's better. It's 3 movies, I think. It's a 3-movie collection. I don't think you can get it still, but if you can, try to look it up. Very good stuff. These influenced me back in the 90s heavily. Uh, Ninja Scroll, Naruto, but Ninja Scroll, Akira, it was called back then, the what was it called? It's called something of Nausicaa now, but I think that was the original title, but it was called um The Warriors of the Wind. It was an anime that I liked with Lord Yuppa and this princess who was protecting her people from this toxic jungle where all of these bugs, these giant bugs, would attack if people did anything to harm the bugs. And it was one of these animes that I like, but animes show such details in their animation. I just couldn't help but liking it. So this is the type of stuff that I want to bring with you all. I want to create these characters and bring to you all. I hope you guys like what I'm going to be bringing to you. I'm trying my best to get this shit finished up and out to y'all. And I hope that you can sign up and get in on the early bird special because I want to knock off some. I want to knock it off. I want to see what I can get away with because I don't know. This is my first campaign. I don't know what I can get away with as far as what the people will accept and not accept this. So I'm going to be learning all of that. And I hope that you guys can stick with me and give me the opportunity to show you what I can do. And I hope I make you guys and myself proud, because I have to shadow her because I want to have light shining up from her. Fire gonna be behind her, and all of this is gonna be lit up with this area. This time I put this part the wrong side. I got to shadow it down in here and make this part light because this would be bellowing in, and this part would be shot. The light would be hitting this part up in here, and this part up in here, and this part up in here, and this would be shaded because it's buckling in, so the shadow would be here, and the light would be hitting up here. So that's what I gotta do the same thing over here. I gotta put the light here and the light there. And then the light under here. I gotta do all of that. Oh, that's a different side. Oh, that's the wings. But it still should give me the color. Oh, that's right, it's behind it. Okay. Okay, so right. Okay, so we're gonna get out of here. I'm hunger and I gotta get out of here, man. So uh I'll check y'all next time. We're gonna try to get this page up before the weekend comes, and so that we can start the signups. And next month will be the launch. And yeah, wish me luck for that, people. I hope that I can get a good sign up and get a good launch and get a good campaign. Because if we could do 20,000, that means I don't have to do no work, and I've put all of my efforts into my comic. Because right now I'm struggling for time to work and get my art out. So yeah, we're gonna be working with this, and I got to get my background in here. Put some buildings in here. But anyway, I'm out of here, people. Thanks for coming through. Please sign up because it seems I don't know if YouTube is knocking off my subscribers or if my subscribers have just said, "Hey, you ain't been doing nothing," so I've unsubscribed you. But I think it's YouTube has been unsubscribing a few people, and I don't have that many subscribers. So if you can subscribe, it would be very beneficial to me. Subscribe, like, and and uh give me an opportunity to grow this channel because that's the best way for me to get better numbers as far as my sales on the comic book. is to get good numbers on build my channels. And I know it's my fault that the channel isn't growing because I'm not that great a YouTuber yet. I've been trying, but I had a lot of adversities and creativity. My creativity, I got a lot in my mind, and YouTubing is like it's a necessary evil. I don't like doing it, but I know that I have to in order to sell my comics. So yeah, help me out by subscribing and do that YouTube thing, and get me out there to the peoples. Help me get, grow the channel and get out there.